Now the story we've been telling you about throughout the show, what would it take for you to leave everything you know behind? For one Nebraska family, it took years of tax hikes and a tough decision. Bailey Bischoff has the story.
The Olton-Bruns family says this is their dream farm, but if you had asked them if they'd be here in Warrensburg, Missouri a few years ago, they would have said you were crazy. The Olton-Bruns family is starting over. A new life in a new place with new hope for the future. Hope that couldn't be kept in Nebraska no matter how hard they tried.
It became obvious when Lancaster County was making more off of our farm than we were that something needed to change.
They farmed around 1,000 acres near Ceresco for over 50 years, but as their farm operation grew, so did Nebraska's taxes. By the time they decided to get out, they had a property tax bill of $50,000 a year.
It's kind of like watching somebody blow a hole in the bottom of your boat and nobody's putting a thumb in to stop the water. You know the boat's going to sink.
Then they made a tough decision. They packed up their farm and their home and ended up here in Warrensburg, Missouri.
It takes something really profound to get a farmer to leave the land that he's bled over. The land becomes a member of the family. It's as much a member of the family as your son or your wife. You've put your life into it. Your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather have put their life into it.
His son was set to take it over to continue carrying on the legacy that land held.
Farming's in our blood, it's what we do.
But they had no option. They aren't the only farm to go. Look at this graph. According to the USDA, in the last 5 years, the number of farms in Nebraska has dropped significantly. Nebraska has the 7th highest property tax rate in the U.S. at an average of 1.83% of the value of your land. Fritz ties the problem back to the unicameral and rural representatives being outnumbered by urban representatives.
They're just piling on ag, and with low commodity prices and high input costs, coupled with these insane property taxes, there isn't any money left. Nebraska's building their economy on a house of cards.
In Missouri, their situation is very different. They've gone from paying $50,000 in property taxes to less than $1,500, and they own more land.
Yeah, it's glorious. As far as being here, I think one of the first things we noticed was the feeling of just freedom. Freedom from giving away everything we produce to the government. And I would say to all of the farmers that are going to watch this, whether you're talking about Missouri or the Dakotas, Minnesota, Kansas, Oklahoma, wherever, until the unicameral cleans up their act on the tax situation, you are better in any one of those states than you are in Nebraska. Get out or force them to change.
Fritz said he would stand up and fight himself if he wasn't toward the end of his career, hoping to build a new history for his family.
Isn't that the dream we all have? A legacy? A history? We had that in Nebraska. We had to forfeit it. So here we are.
Here they are in Missouri, a new state, a new life, but following the same dream.
Point is, we're doing what we love to do, what we've always done, and we found greener pastures.
Proving that even from more than 300 miles south of where the Olton-Bruns family laid down their first seed in the U.S., the legacy grows. I asked the family what they saw their future as here in Missouri. They said one word: prosperity. In Warrensburg, Missouri, Bailey Bischoff.
That does it for tonight. Steve White will be back next week with an all-new edition of NTV's Grow. Have a great week.